Hey everybody, Batmerk here. Tonight I'm going to be reviewing Fire in the Sky from 1993. I've been doing a lot of these retro reviews. Just, there's a lot of good movies from back in the day that, I think could be explored. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's kind of in the vein of like X-Files. It has this actor named D.B. Sweeney. He later went on to be in the Spawn movie. It was either before or after this. It's also got Robert Patrick from the X-Files, which he got the role from this movie because the creator saw him in here and hired him, and Terminator 2. And it also has David Boreanaz from Angel and that other show Bones. But yeah, it's this is a DVD right here. Had this one for a while. It's pretty cool. It's also got James Garner in it, old school actor from the Rockford Files. And basically the movie starts out. It takes place in Snowflake, Arizona. And there's these loggers that are going to work in the I forgot the name of the mountains, but they have like a weird name, not the Misty Mountains, but something like that, the Snow White Mountains or something. And they're going up there and they're doing their logging, and it's time to cut home. And the main character, he's actually the brother-in-law to Robert Patrick's character. And he's probably gonna marry his sister or something like that. So yeah, they're basically like just working together, and he wants to get his sister's hand in marriage and stuff like that. And they're coming back from work after a hard day of logging, and basically they see this light in the sky, and they pull over, and They go over there like what is that? What's that light shooting out? What's that thing up in the trees? So they pull over, and the main character Travis, he jumps out of the car or out of the truck, and he runs up to the light in the sky, and they're like, Travis, no, get back in the car. What are you doing? Get back over here, man. Get back in the car. And he kind of, I hate to say it, but like a dumbass, he jumps out, man. And I mean, I wouldn't have done that. I would have not done that. But he jumps out and goes and checks out the light, and this big like tractor beam shoots out of the sky and just stops him dead in his tracks and sucks him up into the ship. And the guys just drive off and leave him there. They get really scared, and he just disappears. He's just gone. He gets sucked up into a spaceship, and basically he's just disappeared. And so like the next day, they they're starting like this big like hunt trying to find him. Like they're like, where's Travis, what's going on? And they bring in this like cop from like a U.S. Marshal, I believe, and that's played by James Garner. And he's leading the investigation, and then he thinks that it's basically like he was murdered. He thinks that those guys murdered him, his coworkers, so he's trying to find motive and stuff like that. So basically he makes them take lie detector tests, and they all pass the test, every single one of them, and he can't believe it. So he tries to make them take another test, and they're like, nah, man, we've already taken your stupid test. We're not going to take any more, because there's just no point. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't do anything. So they don't get to take the test or anything like that. And out of nowhere, Travis comes home after 5 days. They find him naked, like at a gas station, and they're all happy to see him and stuff like that. And it's just kind of weird because he was gone, and then he just shows up out of nowhere. He's like all naked and stuff, and everyone's just like happy to see him. So they throw a like a returning home party or a welcome home party, and he's just chilling. And I think they're like, I don't remember, they're taking pictures or something like that, but they're taking pictures, and he starts having flashbacks. And so this part happens at the very end of the movie. And so, it's like the last few minutes of the movie, he starts having the flashbacks, and he in the flashback scene, this is like the meat and the potatoes of the movie, you have to wait for it. He wakes up, and he's basically in this slimy cocoon, and he rips out of it and breaks out of this membrane, and he starts floating around at zero gravity. And he could see that there's other cocoons and there's other humans in there, and there's even some dead human parts like inside of another cocoon that are decomposing. And he just basically starts floating around in space, and these hands like grab him and take him, and they drag him through this like organic like spaceship. And the spaceship is pretty creepy. It looks like a bad dream. It's like an organic type looking spaceship. But before that happens, I forgot to mention that he stumbles across these alien, basically like these alien suits. They just look like the typical like gray aliens. They call them the grays, and they're silver. And you're like, oh, look at that. They're just like little alien suits. But the ones that grab them, the suits are like silver, but the aliens that grab them, they're like these beige, brownish looking aliens. And so yeah, they drag him through this hallway, and you see things just floating around in there. And they slam him down on this table. And to me, this part was really scary. They slam him down on this table, and they put this like sack over him and just like shrink wrap like a vac machine, and it just goes over him. And then they put this like goo in his mouth, and then they stick this probe in his mouth, and it's just pretty scary. And then basically this like big like drill comes down and like it's about to like go into his eye. And it kind of, you just hear him like screaming like, and it's just like terrifying. And yeah, the scene ends and he wakes up, and they see how he's doing, and he's trying to cope with it, and that's basically like how the movie is in a nutshell for the most part. It's actually based off of a true story called The Walton Experience, and you could pick that book up or read it if you really wanted to check it out and see it. But yeah, it's a crazy ass movie, and I definitely recommend it. I give a Fire in the Sky 2 horns up. Right here, I was basically what I liked about the movie. Another thing I like about the movie is you see the alien spacesuits. They look like just the aliens that we see, like real cheesy looking, with just the eyeballs and there's no mouth. And then they have these other aliens, which are just like these old looking. They look like old men, kind of mean old looking men, and they got like, they just look scary as fuck, and they're small and they're strong too, and they slam them down on the table, but they're all tiny, and they got these hands, and I don't know, they're just creepy. It's a creepy ass movie. And yeah, I also got this here. I was at the beer store today, and I picked up this new one by Stone. It's another IPA. I'm getting, get a little. The shelves are flooded with IPAs around here, but look pretty fucking metal. Kind of goes with the Fire in the Sky. It's Stone Viking Space Probe. But yeah, it's a, let's see, it's like a 8. I think it's a 8.5%, from my understanding. I think it's an 8.5. But yeah, the little, it's a hoppy cosmic nebula in the spirit of all the exploratory missions deployed across the galaxy, be they spacecraft, Viking or other. We're constantly probing the world of beer back here on Earth. The quest has brought us to this latest creation, which comes from our brewing team at Stone Brewery Napa, with a subtle haze reminiscent of some far-off nebula and further complemented with the juicy flavors of Ella and citrus hops. This beer is most definitely out of this world, crafted to be enjoyed on Earth. But if intelligent life does exist out there, we're pretty sure they'll like it too. So, all right, well, let me take a crack at it. I'll tell you what I think. Well, it's unfiltered. Yeah, it's pretty it's pretty good for a strong double IPA. It's pretty good. Yeah, so I definitely give that one a Stone Viking Space Probe. I give it 2 horns up. And right now, folks, I got this new campaign I'm doing right now through Indiegogo. It's my my comic book. It's called Butch Cleaver. I'm going to be launching in a couple months. Right now I'm working on it, but you can come here and sign up for my news, for my news, and get the email list so I can send you everything, all news. And it's called Butch Cleaver. It's a supernatural horror western. It's inspired by like spaghetti westerns, horror movies from like the past 80 years, which I love all types of horror. I like suspense. I like tag horror, hide and seek horror, thrasher. I like the supernatural, all that stuff. But I also like action, adventure, comic books, everything that I like. I've just basically put in this book, and I've been working on it for a long time, a good almost 10 years, just about. But yeah, you could, there's gonna be a link in the description, and check it out. I got a trailer right here if you want to watch. You could see that. I'm a indie comics creator, and I'm trying to learn the craft every day and trying to become a better storyteller and writer. But yeah, if you want to check it out, go ahead. And thanks for watching, folks. Have a great night. And remember, if you like metal, movies, and brewskis, and comics, then ring that bell, smash that like button, and subscribe to Metal, Movies, and Brewskis. Have a great night, folks.